Bram Resnick.
Hi, Bram. This is Julie Smith. I received a message that you phoned earlier and you wanted to talk to me about the pending override in Gilbert Public Schools District.
Yeah, that's right. I'm doing a story on that for this evening's newscast, and I'd like to talk to you about it. I saw or read you'd filed a complaint with the AG's office, in addition to being an opponent of the override. So I'd like to talk to you about that and what your thoughts are.
Okay. I don't know if now is fine. I'm not too sure if I would paint myself or describe myself as an opponent to the override, though. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, I don't mean to put words in your mouth. I'm just looking at the letter to the AG and just some of the other stuff I've read. So describe yourself however you wish. It's not my job. Would you be available early this afternoon for an interview?
No, that I would not be. I already have appointments, unfortunately, that have been scheduled for a while, this afternoon and this morning.
Is there anybody else you'd suggest I talk to?
Well, if you wanted to ask specifically about the AG complaint, that's something that I did on my own. So I'm the only one that you would be able to ask about that. I mean, I could answer any questions that you have over the phone. I understand that you would prefer an on-camera interview, but the appointments I have were scheduled and then they were canceled and then scheduled and canceled. I have such a busy life.
Yeah, I understand. Well, how about this? Can I get at least, I just want to make sure, given what you said about the AG complaint, that I understand your position on the override. Because I do want to mention this in the reporting. The complaint has been filed, and now they're asking for Gilbert to respond.
Correct.
So, where do you stand on the override?
Well, this specific override that was requested, the reason why I sent the complaint to the AG's office is because it was illegally requested. Arizona state statute is very specific, which is what is outlined in my complaint. As far as if a school district desires to request an override, a proposed budget must exceed the aggregate budget dollars that are going to be coming into the district, and in that proposed budget would be specifically line item where the additional dollars would be spent if the override passed. And in addition to that proposed budget, the superintendent should have also provided a budget that if the override did not pass, what that meant as far as funding and priorities. And that makes sense. The problem with the way that Superintendent Kishimoto and our CFO at the time, not only did they not follow state statute to request for a resolution which was illegally passed by a governing board majority, there have been several questions raised by members of the community and the board, the priorities of how the override monies would be spent, and those priorities have changed multiple times. And anyone can confirm that. Don't take my word for it, just watch the archived governing board work studies and board meetings, and it's been since the override was passed, we've had multiple meetings and work studies in which there were discussions how would the monies be spent and what would be the priorities, and it has changed many times. And the number one thing that should have been funded in our budget, which was not, is to unfreeze the teachers' pay and get them back on track to catch up with our surrounding districts. And we did not do that. The superintendent failed to do that, and the board failed to make that a priority, which is why I am not why I did not support not only the budget, I voted against the budget, but why I would not support this override, even if it was done legally, because teachers and the classrooms have not been made the priority, and that is why we pay taxes.
Okay. Is there anybody in the community you can refer me to who can express that point of view on camera today?
I could ask around a few people, but they're all at work. There are only a couple people that I'm aware of that may be willing to do that, but unfortunately on such short notice, they probably would not be able to, just because, you know, they work full-time. But I can reach out and I can ask.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be very grateful if you can do that, and the time would be about 2:30 or 3 o'clock.
Okay. Do you want me to just call you back, or would you like me to email you?
Call is the best.
Okay.
The best way to get hold of me.
All right, I will do that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Julie.
Sure, you have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Now.